introduction to the V series from VINNO. So on the keyboard itself, your physical keys are the power button, of course. Up the top here, we've got the TGC sliders to control the brightness at each level of the screen. We've got the overall gain, so you can turn that up or down for your brightness. The gain button itself can actually be configured, so if you press that, you can make it do something like comments, so you can have it go straight into annotations. Then we've got our M mode. So we've got M mode. We've got pulse wave, PW is our pulse wave. We've got color flow, so of course that's color. And these buttons here, tissue Doppler, TVI, tissue velocity imaging, and CW for continuous wave. They're all cardiac features, so they probably won't work with the convex transducer. We've got power Doppler imaging. We have 4D, which is only for when you've got the 4D transducer plugged in. And we've got B mode and harmonics as well. Then over on the trackball, you've got a cursor, so you can bring up your mark here, or you can use it to toggle between cursor when you're doing your measurements. The M mode or Doppler line, so by default this is programmed to bring up the sampling line before you press PW. However, usually I change the settings so that you press PW and that enters the MD line first. We have our region of interest, which basically if you have your color box on, if we do color flow and you press region of interest, that allows you to adjust the size of the box, and just press it again so that you can move the box around. And then we also have our auto button. So auto does a one-touch optimization, so it'll tell you that auto optimization is enabled, and it's worth having a look at that. We have measurements, so depending on what exam type you're in, you'll see different measurements. So for example, if we go to here and we're in obstetrics for trimester 1 and we press measure, all of the measurements will come up on the touchscreen, should be relevant to trimester 1, so CRL, etc. However, if we are in the second trimester scan, so we go to ob trimester 2, and then we hit measure, we should see different options here, like our head circumference, abdominal circumference, etc. So all of that can be changed, so you can actually move these around by coming up to here and you press more, and then you press configuration or settings, and you can either drag and drop what we have here, or you can click add or remove. And when you go add or remove, you can search for things, so you can search for obstetric measurements. You can type in the box up here. Anything that's blue will show up when you do your measurement. So if I want to take something away, just press it there, or if I want to add something, just press it and it will come up in your measurement. So you can do that per exam, and you can make your own presets. Once you've done some measurements, you'll also be able to go to the worksheet here and select any measurements that you either do or don't want. So it's very customizable. So let's just do a few just to show you how it all works. So say we do BP and BPD, sorry, head circumference. Okay, so when you do your measurements, you can bring your box down and then you'll have the option to move like that. If you want to swing the axis around, just click on any of these dots and you'll be able to make adjustments like that. And I'm just using the enter button down here to set the measurements. Okay, so once you've done a couple, and let's say we do 2 head circumferences, but I only want one of them, I come down here to the worksheet and I can choose in my worksheet here which measurements I'm going to take. So all you have to do is press on the pencil if you've made some mistakes, and you can just select or deselect whatever you do or don't want. So take it in and out. Oops. We'll get rid of these. Head circumference. Okay, so that's how we change the worksheet if we want to. You can also have your report come up, and in your report as well, you can enter obstetric graphs, and you can just choose which graph you want to get, and you'll get these obstetric graphs as well here. And basically when you start your exam, you need to come across here, go new patient, and what you do want to make sure you do if you want to get these obstetric growth charts up, you just need to make sure you go in here and enter the LMP or EDD so that it knows what it's supposed to be plotting against. Okay, so that was measurements. Clear, we'll just clear it. So say we've done some measurement and we want to clear that off the screen. We press this button here, clear. That's our freeze unfreeze button, of course, the snowflake. And this is our depth. So adjusting the depth, we twist it one way, it'll come in. Twist it the other way, it'll go out. If I want to zoom into an area, we just press this zoom button here. It'll give me the sector, change the size of it, press it again, and it'll zoom into that sector. Now if we want to adjust the steer, we can do that for if we're doing Dopplers. So if we're in the PW, for example, and we want to adjust the steer line, we can do that using this knob down here. If you want to save an image, we freeze the exam and we press down here on the bottom. That's our freeze button, and sorry, that's our save button. And if we want to save a cine loop, you just do your live imaging. So we're live imaging at the moment, and I'm going to press save, and that's going to give me a video or a cine loop. It usually takes the last 5 seconds. You can change that, so see how it's got the play button there, that's a video. You can change that in your system settings. So I'll show you where we can change that. So if you go to system settings here and you go to extended key, these three are our extended keys here. So we've got the print key, we've got a store to USB key, so print, store to USB, and save to hard drive. And you just click on details and you can change the length of time or the mode of saving. So at the moment we've got one key store, that means it's going to save the last 5 seconds. If you go to record mode, it'll save the next 5 seconds instead, so you can change those things. Okay, apart from that, on the touchscreen itself, we can adjust the frequency. We can use trapezoid imaging for a wider view. We can do the up-down flip. We can add body pattern. We can add comments. We can use full screen. You've also got your frequency, focus position, and all of our presets here. And then if you swipe across, we've got panoramic imaging. We've got speckle reduction, V-fusion, which is like compound imaging. We've got our grey filters, our persistence, line density, dynamic range, and we've also got our tint maps and grey maps here, smoothness. Keep coming across, lots of different options here for adjusting the image. Most of the time you won't need to change or adjust any of this. It's all pretty good by default. And we swipe across one more, there's nothing there. You might have some automatic tools like V-Aid, which does automatic measurements for you on the touchscreen as well. But basically the things that you can change to make life easier are your measurements, just coming up here to configuration, like I said, to make sure that you've got the correct measurements on here. Some of them will be hidden across these tabs here, like biometry, so more complex measurements. We've got our second and third trimester long bones, advanced measurements, all of that in there. And to get to your new patient, you swipe across, go new patient up here. To get to old studies, you go to archive, and they'll end up in here. To export data, you just select the patient, and you'll have a bunch of options where you can export the data down the bottom here. And we also have end exam, report, annotations, body pattern again, system settings, and probe and app. So system settings is where you can make changes. You may need to make changes in the measurements if there's a particular ob table that we want to be using. So this is where we make the changes. Say for example, for female length we wanted to use something different. We can make the change down here, so we can use the ASAM tables. And we can also make changes under general as well for different features, like pre-Doppler mode is the one I was mentioning, where you press PW rather than pressing MD line, just to save a little bit of time.